go through the article that I had sent. And as we all know, it's a very important topic which probably each one of us is very keen to discuss and maybe seek some solutions. As I have already mentioned, we can start with any one of you raising the first question, and then we move on to the next, and this is how we are going to do. So, any one of you with any question that you have.
I think I must introduce, because it's the first time that I'm talking to the other members. My name is Rajendra Kumar. I'm from Hyderabad. Mr. Kuldeep has introduced me to this forum. Now, first thing is, I must compliment you, Mr. S.P. Singh, that the article has been very well written. My only point is that it only brings out the problems and the suggestions, but that doesn't lead us to anywhere. Though it's a good beginning, what my suggestion would be to focus on the solution, which probably you, me, and all respectable citizens of the society must voice their concern to those who matter, to the lawmakers, to the judiciary, to the Supreme Court, and bring awareness among the public. And basic problem is, all of us, we just discuss on our forum like this. In fact, I think it's a very good thing that you people have started. Most of the discussions happen in the bar over a drink and cup of tea, and then we just discuss the problems and then forget about it. But there is no real action as such. So in the bargain, the problem that you brought out so well, things are getting from bad to worse. The society is getting more and more aware, more and more educated, but we are not really seeing the light of the day. We talked so much about this new politician, Narendra Modi has come, this fellow will do this fellow will. Finally, nothing's happening. They're all taking care of themselves. So my only request or suggestion would be to focus more on action and get into action, because problems are more or less known. That's all in the suggestion.
But sir, if you must have read the article, the concentration, you must have seen in the later part of it, I've given about 10 to 11 suggestions, and they are broken into legislature, then executive, and then the judiciary. So the possible steps that have to be taken to get out of this malaise, I think you must have gone through them, sir. I have given detailed suggestions about what needs to be done. Because beyond that, we can't probably conceive anything. We can only, so could you?
I have gone through word by word of it, and I have all the admiration for the wonderful job done. But then my submission is that if we restrict ourselves only to suggestion, who's the one who's going to get it implemented? Because unless we get into action and something happens, these suggestions, everything is only in this Zoom meeting or in the book file, etc. That doesn't achieve our goals. Our goal is to better the society, take care of the society, the way the Constitution is described. The very purpose of Constitution, which you brought out so well, is the welfare of the society, of the individual citizens. Whereas now, the whole Constitution, judiciary, lawmakers, they're all working in a way to take care of themselves. I need power, I need money. So, I mean, if that is there, what are we doing? We are all being ruled by gundas. So we need to get into action.
What is the exact question, sir?
Beg your pardon?
I said, what is the exact question of yours which I could respond to?
No, I would like to join any group, which is like, supposing maybe we form a society of say about 15-20 people, like-minded people, with experienced people, couple of IAS officers, couple of IPS, couple of judges. Together we can form a group. We dish out all the mails to Supreme Court, to the lawmakers. We all go and question our local MLAs and MPs. But we simply go and vote. Thereafter, we don't see the face of them. And even when we have some problems, we reconcile to the fact society aisi chalti hai, char paise do yaar, apna kam karwa lo. But I don't think that is a real solution.
No, but what is your question, sir? In this limited
question, it's only a suggestion.
Actually, can I take forward what Jinderji has spoken? I like to take it forward.
Please.
Can I do that? If you give permission.
Please go ahead.
I would also start with the same thing. Ki very detailed information has been given by SP Singh ji. But then I also will go further. The real issue that we are having is ensuring how to get it implemented. And that is where I want to do supplement. I'm not asking any question, but I'm supplementing to what you have already information you have given. So I will tell 3, 4 points which I feel need to be understood. In fact, they need to be understood so that we reach the right solution. So in my mind, the first thing what is very important to ensure that everything is done as per to reflect responsibility, transparency, and accountability is the proper legislation. That all our laws should be, we should understand the difference between executive action and legislative action. Whenever a proper legislation is done, then it gets implemented. I like to give you example for this. I'll go toward Manmohan Singh time when we had very good socio-economic laws. Like, in fact, Rajinder only reminded me when we were talking, a right to information. After that, we had a right to education, Menerga. Then while before going, he also gave us Food Security Act. The good thing about all these acts was they were very well legislated. So that today also the right to information is very effective. It has proved much more effective. In comparison, what we had during current government, it was not very well discussed. That's the reason there have been flaws. Because mostly what these governments do, they want to leave it to the executive action, which is not adequate. But when a thing gets legislated, then it needs to be implemented. So the first point that I am suggesting is all our legislation should be very, very effective legislation. For instance, a lot of suggestion you have made. That is one thing is criminalization of elections. That means any candidate who's elected, his case should be cleared within, let us say, 180 days. So there should be a law regarding this. It should not be just a question of executive action of the government. There should be proper law passed by the parliament. Within 180 days, the case would have to be cleared. Similarly, when we talk about judiciary appointments, that we need sufficient number of lawyers.
है
As Colonel Saab, Colonel P.P. Singh ji has
अभी
told,
क्या है क्या कुछ बना
cases
पड़ा
are getting delayed.
क्या बना हुआ
Uh, Junaida
है, और
Saab, if you similarly recommending is we should have very effective legislation for which we must fight with our government. This was very well done. No, during Narendra Modi, this is not to point out politically that triple talaq, we could not have a never discussion, we never had. No, the farm laws what we had. So the laws, which is legislation, should be widely circulated. It should be well discussed, and then we should have so effective laws that automatically they are followed. That is the first remedy which I am suggesting. It is to supplement your points only. Point number two. Point number two in my mind is technology. Because technology has got a very big tool it has become today in hand of the government in order to improve our governance, e-governance. There's a word e-governance. And the first place where we need is in the case of citizen services. See, every citizen, we need clean, we need good roads, we need electricity, we need any complaint that we are having, we should be able to police station, that we should get proper service from basic thing. This can be very well served if there is proper technology used. And that technology is available. But why not to have it in the legislation? Why not to have a law regarding implementing them? You know, almost all our state government has got certain system by which they are trying to give those services. Even Telangana government, so many e-seva is there, me-seva is there. But rather than just leaving it executive action, it should become part of the law. That means it will be mandatory on part of the government to provide these services through e-seva. It will be mandatory on part of the government that within time bound, that if there is any complaint regarding there is any road which is not clean, if it has to be cleaned up, that within after complaint, it should be within 48-hour action should be taken. If it is not taken, now who will be penalized? This should be there. Apart from proper legislation, there should be technology which can be very helpful. This is number two. Number three is investigation agencies. We have got a lot of investigation agencies ranging from police station to CBI to CVC in the parliament and CVG. All of them, I feel in that case, there should be judicially monitoring of them. Apart from they, even though they are part of executive, they should be monitored simultaneously by judiciary, so that there is one counter check. But when the executive is only looking after uh, investigation, and when executive is, it is many times they get into politicking. They will try to favor somebody. They will like to uh, disfavor somebody also for their political end. So it should be monitored. I'm not told executing, so that wherever is required, then judiciary can intervene. They can take what is called cognizance wherever it is required. In case if it is not required, they are just monitoring, they are just observing, they are not interfering in any way. That is not their function. It is an executive function. That is the third thing which I have got in my mind. It will take care of all your suggestion, whatever you have given, whatever Colonel Saab has given suggestion regarding every year we get floods. See, those who have not gone through, I'm telling for their benefit, every year there is a natural calamity. Bombay is getting under the water every year, every monsoon. So many roads are, and one rain comes, we always talk of very highly about our civic services. One rain comes and we are all our cities, leave alone villages, they're under the water. Drainage system is so bad. So why not we have a proper following up through our judiciary, through our investigation agencies? So we definitely need some ways in which we can ensure that they're implemented. So I have given the three suggestions which I feel which can help in many ways. For instance, apart from citizen right, we need single window for our industrialization. We need single window system, which is for years we have been talking about single window. Why not there be a law regarding on that? We don't have any law on single window. We feel this government is very efficient, but it should not become as a matter of pleasure of executive. It should be right of the industries to get that. And when it's the right, why not it be legislated? Why we should always depend upon somebody, some minister will, he will become happy and he will become efficient. No, there should be proper law implementing. So these are the three suggestions. And last but not the least, our governor and our speaker. Our speaker and governor, they are always the ruling party. See, there is a lot of discretion has been given to governor and to our speaker, with which what he does is he misuses it in the favor of the government. I feel for that there should be a definite legislation. What is within their discretionary power should be taken away from them. Instead of that, there should be effective guidelines. If there are more than 50 people asking for, or more than 20 people asking for voting, the speaker has no right. He should straight away go for voting. He doesn't need to think in my own judgment whether it is required or not. So I think both governor and our speaker, our Indian democracy is not working. In India, this discretion was given to both speaker and to governor to use it democratically for the betterment of the democracy. But it is not being done. What our country democracy needs, they should be mandated. So you have to go within this right. You have no right. You have to follow this procedure, and that again can be monitored by our judiciary. But judiciary will not interfere as long as things are going okay. They will let it go. They will only intervene in case speaker or governor breaks the procedure which has been set. And that procedure again will be laid down by the law of the country. That's all what I can state. This is further than what I think Rajendra had in mind.
So
Apart
I
from
would like to.
what he, sorry, I hear spoken about citizen initiative also. I would like him to suggest something or anybody else to suggest for that. Okay,
Are you done, sir?
I'm over.
You are over. So you have actually described in detail almost everything, but let me give you 2-3 things. We can't expect judiciary to be supervising CBI in their day-to-day affairs, or for that matter, CAG or CBC or anybody
May I
else.
interfere? May I interfere? I'm not
Let me
telling
complete,
supervising. I use the word monitoring actually.
They can't even monitor. They can't
They
even
should.
monitor.
They should monitor.
No, this is an aspiration, sir. Let me complete.
No, they should monitor, and this should be mandated by
Constitution-
law actually. That's what I'm telling. But what my feeling.
Sir, who makes law? Judiciary doesn't make law. Judiciary doesn't make law. Law is made by parliament. Judiciary can't make a law itself. Let me explain, sir.
This part is clear to me.
I said, sir, in our constitution, the 3 organs have been so designed. The legislature makes laws, the executive implements them, and the judiciary makes sure that the laws that are made are not contravening the constitution. And secondly, their implementation by the executive is as per the spirit of the law. So it has been so designed that all 3 organs would operate independently in their respective domains, and no organ would be unnecessarily allowed to interfere into each other's affairs. This is the spirit of the constitution, and therefore laws are made by the legislature, and they have been given complete freedom in terms of how the bills are to be submitted, and the discussion would take place, and the laws are therefore made. The laws once made become the responsibility of the executive, which is the cabinet headed by the prime minister and the ministers, and CM and the ministers at the state level to execute them through their own, the whole bureaucracy and rest of the, infrastructure that they have. The role of the judiciary is already poking into the affairs of the government on a regular basis. If you read papers regularly, you must be finding the Chief Justice commenting almost every day for the last 3 months on affairs which he ought not be commenting at all. So the judiciary role is to adjudicate on the cases that are pending in the court. But unfortunately, because in most of the cases, the executive doesn't operate as per the spirit of the laws they have themselves made, or the things that they are neglecting, that judiciary either through PILs or suo motu takes cognizance of certain things. It leads to a lot of wastage of time, and maybe must be contributing to the areas that we have discussed, that they are in crores. So therefore, the judiciary cannot be even supervising unless in a given case where the judiciary itself says that the CBI henceforth is going to do the investigation and submit regular reports to us. So we can't expect judiciary. Why should the lawmakers not behave well, make good laws and execute them well? I think there lies the problem. So this was one explanation I wanted to give. And secondly, you talked about laws to be made about services and all. I think you are referring to citizen charter. So a citizen charter is a kind of, a declaration made by the executive, say at the lowest level, that services being rendered by the executive would be under an SOP. In how many days, there would be the first reward, and in how many days it would be finally resolved. So I think we can't, because one has to be very sure that the laws that you make need to be implemented. By just making laws, you are only, increasing the workload on people who execute them. I think the laws that are already there need to be executed fine. And you also raised issues like roads being made and nobody taking care of anything. Everything is there in the present laws and regulations of the government. To go anywhere, you go to PWD, you go to PHED, you go to FCT board, everywhere, whenever the works are given to the contractors and the projects are being executed, there are timelines, there are weekly reports, there are audits. I think the prime concern raised by me was that we have enough infrastructure everywhere, be it legislature, be it maybe few amendments have to be made or few corrections or improvements have to be brought in. But the points that you raise about public affairs or supplies and corruption, happening there are already infrastructure, available there. The only thing is the ones who are liable to be taking action, taking cognizance and punishing people who are found to have been offenders. I think that is there where that the things are lacking. So I believe I've been able to clarify. Could we have Colonel PV Singh, please?
Please.
No, my concern is the corruption which is eating the roots of our country. Anything the government spends on anything, 50% goes into pocket of other people. And take example of roads, which I had given in my question also. Roads or anything which are done at the lowest level. In a city, a road is made or a drain is cleaned. I have noticed this thing that they are never done properly. The way probably is supposed to be done, lot of money is spent, but the road starts getting deteriorating even before it is completed. The footpath starts falling apart. The tiles start breaking. The water never goes into the drain, but it remains on the road. There is no system to, as a citizen, as a common man, how do I ensure that things are done the way and the money spent is rightly spent? And there is, value for the money which is spent. It is, you go to any office now in Haryana, we have in Gurgaon, where I live, there used to be your Huda, Haryana Urban Development Authority earlier. Now it is GDMA, Gurgaon Management Development, whatever authority. Same people who are sitting in Huda have now joined GDMA. They are doing what they were doing in Huda, same thing is happening here. They start, they make a road. After 2 weeks, somebody comes, digs it up, starts laying a pipe. Why can't they do it? I am telling you, I have, there are systems. I have worked in, works in army. I was Colonel Works. That time, for digging a road in a military station or in a cantonment where there are civilians, you just can't dig a road. Even P&T or anybody just can't dig a road. They have to first deposit money for its repair, whatever digging, and then only will they will be allowed. There has to be schedule within the our own system. There has to be schedule what will be done first, thereafter the next thing, so that the thing which has been constructed is not uprooted immediately after that for something else to be done. So why can't we have such a system in our public works? Now I am living in a city, not in a cantonment or a military station. Here things are entirely different. I had gone in the evening. Today there have been very heavy rains. The roads were clogged. I had seen in month of May and June, there was a truck standing at one place cleaning the drain. Now, and a lot of placards and people coming that and that it is being done, a lot of money and claims being made by people. And in the first rain, I tell you, half of the city, half of the people were submerged. All the roads, we couldn't move. Only thing I can suggestion, what I can give is that these people will remain the way they are. You may have so many checks and balances, but they are the ones who are also doing the audit. They are part of the corrupt team. There should be a citizens forum. There should be a law. There should be a system where the citizens of that area monitor the work. You can't expect courts or other people to do it. It should be the citizen. There should be some eminent citizens in every area, and they should be asked to audit the work done by Public Works Department. This is one suggestion I want to give, that ordinary citizens who are affected by those works should be asked to audit the work, and the money to the contractor should be paid only after the work has been completed to the satisfaction of this forum or this group. That is one suggestion I want to give. Because this is a big problem, and this is there everywhere in country, in every city. In every city, this problem is there. The public works are in pathetic state.
May I intervene for 1 minute? May I intervene for 1 minute, sir?
Please.
Only thing, 10 minutes are left, SP Singh ji. And second thing is, I would welcome Iqbal ji, Harban ji, Juneja Saab, and Sweetie. All of them are on mute. They are with us, so I'm just welcoming them. And I would also like to, and I will like to reply in case I get 2 minutes time in the end. Now you
No, that's fine. But we'll be having an extended time, no, sir?
Yeah, after that it is up to us.
Okay. So
After 40 minutes, then again we'll. In any case, you have to conclude also.
So can I
will be using that time, but you can decide.
Can I respond to Colonel PV Singh's concern? I think he has raised, a point which is in everybody's mind. But most of you have been government servants, or most of you must have had people in government job in your family or somewhere. So things are certainly bad, but to presume that they don't have a system, or the people in any metropolitan city would come and dig any road without any approval or pre-approval or notification, etc., is not correct. Every work that gets started, it has the only problem lies with the audit and supervision. In terms of who does what and how he does it, they have a clear-cut government. In government works, not a single thing can happen without a proper procedure being there. The only thing is, when it gets on the wrong track, when time overruns and cost overruns and bribery and deficiency in quality, etc., these quality checks, etc., they are these deficient areas. We don't have any problem about the infrastructure being poor in terms of how the works are to be started, whether due approvals have been taken by authorities. No office you go anywhere, everything moves on a proper file. The only problem is that when it comes to supervising, whether it has been done properly and as per the work order and within the time and budget schedule, the things are entirely different. So I think the concern remains as regards the supervision and the audit. And for the audit also, I have been a government servant, most of you have been there. All audit departments are there. At the state level, we have the accountant generals. We have at the central level, the CAG and others. The only problem is that probably their audit is not up to the mark. They are not able to probably be as incisive as they should be. And they are not raising issues, which I mentioned in the article also. And there is no argument about it. Now, secondly, about handing over affairs of cities to citizen forum is very well intended, but we can't manage a small RWA. I stay in a small, condominium where we have about 600 citizens, and we have an RWA, and there are 3 factions, and they are fighting every day. The very purpose, the very purpose of democracy, the very philosophy of democracy is giving power to people. So our citizen forum is our MLA and the councillors. Where are they? And again, these are chosen people who are supposed to pull up the bureaucracy and make sure that they work as per the guidelines. The problem is that almost everybody is hand in glove with wrong practices, and everybody is probably not doing what they are supposed to be doing. So at the end of the day, what actually it boils down to is the people who are at the positions, district collector or the say commissioner of the municipal corporation, or maybe the superintendent of police, or maybe if you go higher up, the secretaries or the ministers. So how many times have you seen the ministers coming on inspections to our locations? Hardly ever. How many times have you seen an MLA or MP or councillor visiting our locality? Hardly ever. So this will again happen to those forums, the citizen forums that we are thinking about.
Can I intervene, sir? Can I intervene?
Yes.
Sir,
Please, sir.
you have been talking, but you are not giving any solution. Now, I would like to speak regarding.
No, I am as good as you. I am not saying. Sir, just a minute, sir. Just a minute.
Kindly listen.
I can't give. How can I give solutions? Who am I? I have given you solutions in the article. If you have read it properly, what is the Vigilance Department of Haryana government doing? How many SCs and SGOs they have suspended?
Give me about 2 minutes. Allow me to talk for 2 minutes, sir. Give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes. I will see, all of us are actually having complaints. But I would like to talk about the solution. And I know all the rules what you have talked, even I am very much aware. I will talk about 2 laws which have worked. If they can work there, they can work here also. One is right to information. Right to information has brought, as you are also aware, lot of cases have been fought, lot of positive action has been taken on basis of right to information, because that is a very well legislated law. Second thing is Manarga. There is a corruption in there. We cannot say that there is no corruption, but yet Manarga is working. Today, since even particularly after pandemic has come, even though this present government was criticizing Manarga like anything, but it is working all across the nation. Of course, in some state it is working very well, in some state it is not working that well. But efficiency is one thing, effectiveness is there. Definitely. Efficiency may not be equally everywhere, but effectiveness is present there. So, whatever solution I have given, keeping that in mind, I am definitely knowing what you have spoken. The judiciary job is not to pass any law. Judiciary's job is only to interpret the law. I'm aware of that. I think many of us will be aware of that. I have told what can, because in spite of whatever laws are there, in spite of what they have not somehow working. We are not definitely getting the benefit. So our focus has to be on solution, as Rajendra was also speaking, not on what we have already done. Because in spite of having one of the biggest written constitution of the world, see in India, how much laws we have made, no other country has made. And we have, and one thing more I like to tell you, those people who make the law think quite a lot. They are not all corrupt people. They are all very well-meaning people who pass laws in parliament. We cannot say that everybody is corrupt. Corruption is one thing. But they are very well-educated people. When you see parliament debate, you will realize.
Sir,
I'm only keeping that fact in mind. I've only spoken for 2 laws. One is right to information, and one is Manarga. If we can have 2 laws like that, why can't we have laws on other side also? That's only because any central or state government, the chief minister tells tomorrow I am giving so much money to that. That is not the point. There should be laws. The government has to give that thing. Government is duty bound. 72 hours. This law, if there is a road garbage complaint here, within 72 hours, that garbage should be cleared from there.
Friends, good evening. I feel privileged to give conclusion for the discussion just completed. However, we have lost part of the original recording due to technical oversight. A detailed advance note sent by Mr. S.P. Singh the main speaker of the evening precedes the discussion. Interestingly, while no one had any disagreement on the study and suggestion made by Mr. S.P. Singh, the real challenge lied in ensuring that government actually followed the principles of responsibility, accountability and transparency in its working. All the members wanted to focus on that. S.P. Singh in the advance note started with India's constitution, democratic ethos, starting with functioning of three organs, that is legislature, executive and judiciary, while commencing the subject. He also deeply commended the outstanding achievements and high moral standards exhibited by our earlier generations, the values that have been diluted ever since. Highlighting India's achievement of governance, he gave some ground level details like point number 1, literacy rate for a population of 37.6 crore in the year 1947 came to 16% for the present population of 139 crore. It is above 75%. Point number 2, India's GDP which was 2.70 lakh crore in the year 1950 and 3% of the world GDP, it is now 150 lakh crore and 7.75% of the world GDP. Point number 3, life expectancy in India in the year 1947 was 27 years. It is 68 years now, plus now. India had 400 colleges and 20 universities in the year 1951. The number at present are 42,343 colleges and 1,043 universities. Wow, what a great achievement. We should all feel proud of that. However, we continue to measure poorly in terms of poverty, illiteracy, basic amenities like clean water, roads and availability of power, etc., apart from standard of living. The major reason of this is again due to weakness on the basic principles of responsibility, accountability and transparency. Among the suggestions made by our main speaker, Mr. S.P. Singh, were the following. Point number 1, check criminalization of politics. Point number 2, make anti-defection law more severe. Point number 3, prescribe minimum educational qualifications for politicians. Point number 4, check electioneering expenditure and restrain rallies and road shows. Point number 5, introduce digitization in all government functions to reduce public interface. 6, zero tolerance for cost and time overruns in government projects. 8, constitutional and vigilance agencies need to work with complete autonomy. 9, judicial vacancies to be filled up on priority. 10, retirement age of Supreme Court and High Court judges. 11, cooling off period for retired Supreme Court Chief Justice and judges. Oh, all were very, very extremely valuable suggestions. Almost everyone agreed with the suggestion made, as no one seemed to have any question over them. However, there were points made which I am going to share with you. Point number 1, corruption was the main culprit and most in government system were busier making financial gains rather than exhibiting qualities mentioned above. Point number 2, Mr. Kuldeep Singh made few suggestions which would help in ensuring responsibility, transparency and accountability among the government. A, making proper and effective legislative laws. B, making best use of technology. C, monitoring of investigating agencies. D, similarly the powers of Speaker, Governor and President all in the constitutionally high position should be so regulated, leaving less discretionary power in their hands and be under the monitoring of judiciary. Point number 3. The other suggestions received were regarding forming sort of citizen audit committee to act like watchdog over the government executive action and inactions. All the work undertaken for the benefit of general public must be cleared by this committee, for which necessary legislation must be prepared.